little while ago I realized it had been a long time since I made a poor financial decision, so I decided to fix this. I started looking for a new car on Facebook. But I wanted to buy a different kind of car this time. A real classic. Something that would appreciate in value. A real luxury cruiser. Something that would be reliable and take me where I need to go fast. Which was not what happened. I got a $400 diesel Golf. It's crusty and has cat shit on it. Doesn't run. The first week I had the car, I got right to work on it. I replaced a coolant hose, oil filter, and a dipstick, as well as doing an oil change. I had been told the car had been sitting for over 3 years, so I didn't have high hopes for a startup. Very dead. Alright, it's been sitting on my trickle charger. Alright, attempt 2. If this doesn't work, we'll throw a battery. Yo, what? I feel defeated. I'm not happy. We're able to get the battery tomorrow. Alright. We got a new battery. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and start this thing now. Oi. You fool! Sounds somewhat healthy, right?
Incorrect.
This is where things started to spiral downhill. Immediately after starting the car, the radiator end tank burst. Suspecting a head gasket failure, I replaced the radiator and picked up a head gasket test kit. However, when I tried to use the test kit, I found my battery was once again dead. So I bought a new alternator and tried the test kit again, but it came back negative. No! Feeling defeated and confused, I did the logical thing and ignored the problem. I slammed the Golf on its nuts, threw on some spacers, and rolled the fenders. While replacing the dash and heater core, I also fixed the OEM temp gauge by disassembling the whole cluster and resoldering a couple joints known to fail, which worked until I installed it and immediately blew it up trying to test it. I gave up and just installed a mechanical oil pressure and coolant temp gauge. After I did all this work and got the car back together, I was surprised to discover that the coolant temp issue I had not addressed at all was not fixed. Over the next week, I put a new water pump in the car and 3 different thermostats, along with enough antifreeze to take out Frozone. I also found out that when I blew up the stock temp gauge trying to fix it, I also fried the fan temp switch, so I had actually managed to make negative progress. Finally, I developed a plan to find out once and for all if the Golf had a blown head gasket. I took off all the injection lines and glow plugs, pressurized the coolant system to 18 psi overnight, then turned over the engine in the morning. No coolant came out of the cylinders, the pressure did not drop all night, and there was no coolant in the oil or vice versa. Not yet satisfied with the level of failure I had achieved, I was very excited to find out that after I put the car back together, it also no longer ran. This was bad because if the car did not run, I had no way of suffocating myself, thus putting an end to my eternal suffering. Suddenly, feeling motivated, I spent the next few days going through the fuel system and eventually found that I had installed the governor backwards. Like it was getting too much fuel. And I came in here and just for the hell of it, pinned the throttle all the way down. Try it like that. Starts right up.
How do we know you're not a donkey-brained man?
So, I fixed the issue and put the car back together, and then took the car for a drive around the block for about 5 minutes, at which point its coolant hoses decided to identify as balloons, and I watched before my own eyes as my car turned into a fog machine. Somewhat relieved that I now knew for a fact it was a head gasket, I decided to pull off the cylinder head. Alright, moment of truth. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Oh, fuck.
I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone.
So, with cracks between the valve seats in 3 out of 4 cylinders, and severe piston slap in all 4 cylinders, the diesel Golf motor was trash. Luckily, I have the engine from my high school car, a 91 Volkswagen GTI. It's a high compression 1.8 liter 8 valve with a big cam, valve springs, and twin Weber 40s on it. More importantly, all the appliances I wanted to retain on the diesel motor will bolt right up to the gas 8 valve. However, for now,
I'm broke!